The price of XRP can skyrocket in the middle of the night. And I'm not referring to a little increment either. I'm referring to a massive change that will completely alter the way money works. This is the Fix theory, an idea put out by the late Will Fix, whose life narrative is nearly as interesting as the theory itself. I was going to give you a whole new script today, but I decided against it. Instead, I want to say what's really on my mind and in my heart, because this story deserves to be told the way Will intended. Will Fix wasn't your average crypto fan who tossed around wild guesses. During his early career, he owned numerous insurance agencies, ran bail bond companies in 27 countries, and operated at a level that most people can only dream of. He was a serious businessman. He was speaking about XRP from more than simply a fan's point of view. The sender had a firm grasp of international money, risk, and opportunity. In his Fix theory, he reframes all the information we have about XRP into a far broader context. This isn't financial advice, so please don't take offense if what I'm going to say causes you to reevaluate your assumptions regarding the future value of XRP. Will gave a straightforward but impactful explanation. With sufficient purchasing power and a small number of institutional inflows, retail investors such as yourself and I have the potential to propel XRP to $5 or $10. That's simple to imagine, but it isn't XRP's original purpose. The intention was for this not to be a typical crypto scenario. Moving enormous quantities of value has been XRP's primary goal since its inception. Massive, I tell you. Consider Ripple's partner institutions, global powerhouses in banking, central banks, and payment processing, all of which transact daily in the billions of dollars. In this scheme, XRP serves as the bridge asset. It's going to be the grease that keeps the future of money moving smoothly. Despite the excitement, Bitcoin is still not designed to achieve what XRP can. For the moment, Bitcoin is trading for over $100,000, but XRP is only sitting at $319. Before we go any further, I have something that will revolutionize your investing strategy and put you in the elite group of people who can predict the next wealth explosion. You may discover the Ultimate Millionaire Investor Guide in the pinned comment below this video. Discover 100x stocks, a comprehensive guide that lays out the process of finding assets with tremendous potential for growth, complete with videos, documentation, and real-life examples. You should not come back to this later. You need to seize this opportunity while it's happening so you don't miss out. The Fix theory will be revisited now. Over the hump, the ripple has now passed. Anyone who has worked in sales knows that there's a period when rejection is constant. That was Ripple's early experience when they tried to sell their idea to unprepared institutions and regulators. However, things are different now. On board, you'll find more than 300 major financial institutions. Indeed, more than 1,700 non-disclosure agreements were made public in court records some time ago. Years have passed since then. Consider the exponential increase in their number. When they get over the hump, they know they've made it through the tough portion. The sign-up process has begun. Central banks, global banks, financial giants. Those players have the ability to shift billions of dollars, not millions. You can't have XRP, the bridge asset, languishing at 10 cents per dollar when those trillions begin moving via a blockchain-based settlement mechanism. Its liquidity capabilities would be severely limited. If you ask the banks what the issue was when XRP was 50 cents or even just over $3 now, the answer is the same. Limiting the size of high-value transfers without upsetting the market is possible with a low per-unit price and billions of units in circulation. In other words, XRP can't do its job without a significant price increase. To meet the liquidity demands of the new financial system, we'll urge that a fix, a mutually agreed upon higher price for XRP, must be implemented at some time. Hyperbole is not the point here. Function is the key here. The price of XRP cannot be in the single or low double digits if it is to settle trillions of dollars worth of payments every day. Asking for the precise XRP price is like trying to predict which NASCAR racing car will cross the finish line at what precise time, according to certain experts like XDC developer Quincy Jones. Even if you can't be sure of its exact ranking in the financial system, you can estimate its placement. In terms of potential to serve as a bridge for global liquidity, XRP is now among the best assets in the market. You can know it won't stay cheap forever just by looking at it. Not as an inflexible prediction, but to demonstrate the scale required, Will offered a sample value of $25,000 per XRP in his lectures. Some people have proposed thousands of figures. It was previously decided behind closed doors that XRP would play a high-value role, according to even the IMF talk that Linda Jones cited. You won't hear that from meme coins or other speculative endeavors. That's how infrastructure is communicated. Things are about to get interesting from here on out. The long-awaited regulations are on their way. We are witnessing a paradigm shift in the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. one that will welcome the unwavering participation of large institutional investors. For a long time, that has been crucial. Even with top-notch technology, stellar collaborations, and an ideal use case, industry heavyweights will sit on their hands until regulations are crystal clear. The system stops caring about XRP's speculative retail pricing and starts using it at its operational price once they step in. This is why many retail investors' $5 to $10 aims are ill-considered and unsustainable in the long run. Indeed, those figures may appear at some point. It is entirely up to the individual to decide whether or not to profit from them. However, the true value of XRP is unrelated to those figures. The quantity of global liquidity it moves determines its intended worth, and that amount is substantially higher than what retail speculation could ever achieve alone. By the time this change is complete, XRP will have become much more than a coin. It will have been one of the most valuable assets in the emerging international monetary system. These are the same assets that banks will use to swiftly settle international transactions. This is the identical asset that will be used as collateral for loans, yield, and liquidity operations on a grand scale. The point, as Will Fix made plain, is not to cash out quickly for a few grand. The plan is for XRP to perform its intended function and revalue itself accordingly. Just for a second, picture yourself on the winning side of that appraisal, rather than after the fact, prior to it. At its core, the Fix theory is more than a forecast. It lays out the rules for the operation of a worldwide liquidity asset. The system is useless unless the price of XRP is in line with its intended use. That being said, the future holds less room for speculation and more for practical considerations. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, grab the Ultimate Millionaire Investor Guide, find 100x stocks from the pinned comment. I'll explain how this shift could develop later on. Before prospects like XRP reach their inflection point, I utilize the same framework to spot them. There are so many videos, documents, and examples in it that you will never see the market in the same light again. When you use my Moomoo link to make a $100 deposit, you'll also receive free NVDA stock worth up to $1,000 plus other perks. See both in the remark that has been pinned below. This is why the price adjustment is critical. When institutional adoption booms, the amount of XRP needed for large transactions will skyrocket, leading to unneeded volatility unless the price of XRP remains low. On the other hand, a lesser amount of XRP can complete the same huge transactions without causing market disruption if the price is significantly higher. Central banks and international organizations rely on that stability. Will believed that after Ripple had moved past the rejection stage and into the sign-up phase, the exact same stage we are in now, the final step was to make the asset's price reflect its function. Because of our habit of viewing price only in terms of supply and demand, individual investors tend to miss that element. When it comes to XRP and similar projects, operational efficiency is just as important as price. Envision a world where the XRP ledger settles $1 trillion every day. It would be a wasteful system to use XRP at $5 apiece. With XRP priced at thousands of dollars per, it becomes effortless. Not as a crazy gamble, but as a practical improvement to the global financial infrastructure. That is the type of revaluation that the Fix theory envisages. It will be about more than just banks transmitting money across borders when this transformation occurs. The integrations and collaborations of Ripple are positioning XRP to become a foundational asset for lending, yield generation, collateralization, and other uses. Imagine a world where XRP acts as a liquidity bridge and digital assets are used to rapidly secure or fund various types of loans, including as mortgages, auto loans, and business loans. Now keep this in mind if you're still wondering if such a significant increase in value is indeed feasible. The collaborations are already in place for XRP. The speed, cost-effectiveness, and interoperability are all present and accounted for. Regulatory clarity, the last piece, is gradually falling into place. And if something occurs in the financial markets, the capital moves quickly afterward. Once a framework is established, organizations like the IMF, BIS, and central banks do not take years to make decisions. They take swift action. And when they do move, it's massive. At that moment, everything changes. The functional price, the new price, becomes the market reality the very next day. So, for individuals who comprehend XRP's purpose, the notion of selling it for $5 to $10 is illogical. While that may work for day traders, those with a longer time horizon will notice that the true winners emerge once the speculators leave. We will fix this item as well as this one. We're not merely referring to the fact that more people buying means prices will go up. We're talking about an asset that, similar to oil in the industrial era, is being positioned by institutions as an absolute need. Value will be determined by how high XRP goes after the financial system ties it into that position. While retailers focus on more micro-level market shifts, this transformation's foundational effort is gathering steam. NDAs, pilot initiatives, system integrations. That which remains unnoticed until all of a sudden it becomes pervasive. A revaluation may have already taken place by the time it becomes apparent. Therefore, placement is important at the present, not at a later date, every time it's clear. Consider this: the financial sector's digital transformation is here now, not some faraway day. Here it is: immediate international payments, blockchain settlement, and tokenized assets. No longer are they mere ideas, they're full of life and expanding. Also, XRP could serve as the gateway for all markets. Thus, will XRP's value increase isn't the main question. Will you be there when it finally accomplishes its destiny? That is the true question, because there will be no opportunity to step in after the fix comes, whether it's thousands, tens of thousands, or more per XRP. Prior access will have been necessary. That is precisely why I have centered my own technique on being able to detect these kinds of setups at an early stage. Find 100x stocks in the pinned comment below right now if you want the same tools, expertise, and technique I use. Get the Ultimate Millionaire Investor Guide right now. It's more than that. This tried and true strategy can help you see emerging trends long before they become popular with the general public. In addition, if you deposit $100 through the Moomoo link in the same pinned remark, you will receive free NVDA stock, worth up to $1,000 within a few days. That's a simple victory to help you prepare for the more difficult ones to come.